I walked into my childhood bedroom and found a memory foam dog bed where my desk used to be. My mom smiled and said, "Princess needed the space." Princess is my sister's golden retriever, and the house, I own it. The walls were painted sage green. There was a chandelier-style feeding station in the corner, a custom toy organizer along the wall, my high school debate trophies gone. My mom stood in the doorway like this was completely normal. "You don't live here anymore," she said. "We thought you wouldn't mind." I asked where my things were. "Storage, or donated." "I don't remember." She shrugged. "What do you do when your parents erase you from a house you actually own?" I had the deed upstairs in my filing cabinet. They had no idea. Drop your time zone below. Let's see who's up late for this one. And hit subscribe because you'll want to see how this ends. Let me back up. Because this wasn't about a dog bed. It was about 4 years of quiet disrespect, and a lease they forgot I wrote. 4 years ago, my parents were 3 months behind on their mortgage. The bank sent a foreclosure notice. I was 28, freshly promoted to senior analyst, and I had savings. I offered to buy the house outright. Let them stay as tenants, $600 a month. Market rent was $1,800. They said yes. We signed a lease. 2 pages. Notarized. I filed the deed with the county and put a copy in a fireproof box. I thought I was helping. I thought this would finally balance the scales. Because my whole life, my sister was the golden child. College paid for. A car at 16. A wedding fund. I got, "You're so capable. You'll figure it out." And I did figure it out. I worked full-time through community college. Transferred to state. Graduated with no debt. Built a career in finance. My sister got a degree in communications and 3 funded startup attempts that all collapsed within a year. But I was the one who didn't need help. My mentor at work drilled one rule into me. Paper trail or it didn't happen. So I saved everything. Bank transfers, emails, texts, lease agreements. Clause 7 of our lease was clear. No additional occupants without written landlord approval. I kept a spreadsheet of every rent check, set calendar reminders, logged every late payment. There were a lot of late payments. I thought helping them would change things. That maybe they'd finally see me. I was wrong. The real fight was just starting. I came home for Thanksgiving. The house smelled like fresh paint. My mom intercepted me in the hallway. "Don't go in your old room yet," she said. "It's a surprise." She opened the door. Sage green walls, framed photos of Princess, a chandelier bowl stand. My debate trophies were gone. My sister walked in with Princess on a leash. "Mom helped me design it," she said. "I'm staying here while my condo's being renovated. Isn't it perfect?" I asked how long. She shrugged. "A few months? Maybe more." The contractors backed up. I pulled my mom into the kitchen. "We have a lease," I said. "She can't just move in without my approval." My mom's face went hard. "This is still our house," she said. "We raised you here. You're really going to nickel and dime us over a bedroom?" My dad walked in. "What kind of daughter plays landlord with her own parents?" He said, "You want us to beg permission? To grovel?" I tried to explain. The lease wasn't about control. It was legal protection for all of us. He laughed. "Legal protection," he repeated. "You sound like a lawyer." "This is family." I said family doesn't erase someone's childhood without asking. "You're being dramatic," my mom said. "It's just a room." "You're never here anyway." My sister leaned against the counter, arms crossed, smiling. My dad's voice dropped. "If you push this, everyone will know what kind of person you really are." I left an hour later. No one said goodbye. I drove home in silence. My hands shook on the wheel. Sunday night, my sister posted on Instagram, photo of Princess in the room. Caption: "So grateful for family who show up when it matters. Blessed." 847 likes. The comments came fast. Relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. Blood is thicker than water. Some people forget where they came from. I texted my mom. No response. Called my dad. Straight to voicemail. 2 weeks later, my bank sent an alert. November rent check. returned for insufficient funds. I texted my mom a screenshot. She replied instantly. We've decided to put that money toward Princess's vet bills. She's family too. I stared at my phone. They weren't just ignoring the lease. They were daring me to enforce it. I sat on my balcony that night and wondered if they were right. Maybe I was cold. Maybe I was the villain. Then I checked my email. And everything shifted. Subject line, County Assessor, ownership update request received. I opened it. My parents had filed a homestead exemption claim, naming themselves as primary owners. Filing date, 3 days after Thanksgiving. They weren't just pushing back. They were trying to take the house. I pulled up my records folder. The lease was there. So was the deed. So were 36 months of payment logs. I wasn't defenseless, but I wasn't sure I had the stomach to fight my own parents. The county email was forwarded automatically. I'd set up alerts years ago when I bought the house. I clicked through. Applicants, my parents' names. Claim, longtime residents reclaiming family home from financial error. Financial error. Like I'd tricked them. My chest went tight. I opened my records. Pulled the deed. Warranty deed. Recorded 4 years ago. Grantor, my parents. Grantee, me. Consideration, $287,000. Notary seal intact. County stamp clear. I took screenshots. Attached the deed to an email. Sent it to the county clerk. Subject, please disregard homestead claim. I am the sole legal owner. Documentation attached. I copied my parents. Hit send. 10 minutes later, my mom called. I didn't answer because I'd opened another email. A payment confirmation from their bank, dated 2 weeks earlier. $600. Paid to my sister's Venmo account. Memo, rent. They'd been paying her. Not me, her. I scrolled back. 4 months of payments. Every first of the month. $600 to my sister. She'd been pocketing my rent, and they'd been helping her do it. I took more screenshots. Opened a new folder. Evidence. Saved everything. I didn't call them back. My mom left 3 voicemails, all of them angry. How dare you humiliate us with the county? We're your parents. You've changed. I deleted them. But I didn't delete the recordings. I saved those too. A week later, a certified letter arrived. Law firm letterhead. Notice of intent to challenge deed validity. They'd hired an attorney. The letter claimed I had coerced my parents into signing the deed during a medical emergency, that my father was on pain medication after surgery, that they'd been paying me rent under duress. I read it twice. Then I pulled my calendar. The closing was 6 weeks before my dad's surgery. I had the pre-op paperwork. I had his emails asking me to drive him to appointments. The timeline didn't match, but the letter gave me 10 days to respond. Day 3, my sister launched a GoFundMe. The title, Help My Parents Fight an Unlawful Eviction. There was a photo of them looking frail, sitting on the porch steps. The description said I was using legal loopholes to steal their equity after 30 years in their home. Goal, $15,000. In 2 days, she raised $4,200. My phone exploded. Cousins, family, friends. My mom's book club, all asking the same question. Is it true? I didn't respond publicly. But I opened a new document. Started building a timeline, deed signing, date, notary, witnesses. Dad's surgery, date, hospital, discharge notes. Lease signing, date, terms, clause 7. 36 rent payments. 12 on time. 24 late. 4 missing entirely. Every piece had a timestamp. A receipt, a record. Their lawyer had given me 10 days. I had 9 left. And I had to decide. Let them rewrite history, or show the receipts they didn't know I had. On day 2, I hired a real estate attorney. She reviewed everything in an hour. Her words, "This is airtight. They don't have a case. Do you want to file for eviction or negotiate?" I showed her the Venmo receipts. She leaned back. "Your sister was taking the rent money?" I nodded. She made a note. "That's fraud. Potentially wire fraud if it crossed state lines." I wasn't interested in criminal charges. I just wanted the truth documented. My attorney drafted a response to their lawyer. Exhibit A, closing documents. Dated 6 weeks before the surgery, time-stamped, notarized. Exhibit B, affidavit from the title company. Confirming my father was coherent, unimpaired, and reviewed every page. Exhibit C, a text message from my mom. Sent 2 weeks after I bought the house. We can't thank you enough. You saved us. We'll never let you down. Screenshot attached. Exhibit D, Venmo transaction ledger. 4 months. $600 each. Paid to my sister while I received nothing. My attorney sent the response on day 8. Copied their lawyer. Copied my parents. Subject, re-deed challenge, full documentation enclosed. I didn't hear anything for 2 days. Then my sister blocked me on everything. No call, no explanation. Just gone. My attorney smiled when I told her. That, she said, is what losing looks like before the other side admits it. My attorney ran a standard asset search. What she found explained everything. My parents had refinanced the house twice before I bought it. Cash out refinances. They pulled equity both times. Total, $140,000. I asked where the money went. She showed me the trail. First refinance, $38,000. Wired to my sister the same week. Matched her wedding date. Second refinance, $52,000. Wired 6 months later. Matched her condo down payment. There were smaller transfers, too. $27,000 over 2 years. Credit card bailouts, car payments. They hadn't been struggling because of bad luck. They'd been funding my sister's life. And when the well ran dry, they nearly lost the house. I didn't buy it to help them. I bought it to stop the cycle. And they resented me for it. My attorney said it quietly. They don't see you as their landlord. They see you as the child who broke the script. I sat with that for a long time. The script was simple. They give to her, I take care of myself, and no one talks about it. By buying the house, I made it impossible to ignore. I forced them to sign a lease. To acknowledge I was the owner. To admit they needed me. And they hated me for it. This was never about a dog bed. It was about control. And I was done being written out of my own story. I sat in my attorney's office on a Tuesday morning. She slid 2 folders across the desk. Option A, she said. New lease. Market rate rent. Your sister moves out. Immediate payment of arrears. If they agree, this ends quietly. She tapped the second folder. Option B, eviction filing. Reclaim possession. Civil suit for back rent and fraud. This goes public. I asked what she recommended. Give them option A with a 72-hour deadline, she said. If they refuse, file option B the same day. I nodded. You're sure? She asked. I looked at the photo still open on my phone. Princess on my childhood bed. My sister's caption? I'm sure. The letters went out Monday. Certified mail. Signature required. Option A terms. New lease. $1,400 a month. Still below market. Immediate payment. $2,400 for 4 months of arrears. My sister vacates within 7 days. No additional occupants without written approval. Any breach triggers automatic eviction. Deadline, Thursday, 5 p.m. I didn't call. Didn't text. Just waited. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. Thursday morning, I taught a training at work. My phone was on silent. At 4:47 p.m., it buzzed. Incoming call. Dad. I stepped into a conference room. My attorney was already on standby. I answered, and added her to the line. My dad's voice was tight. You're really going to do this? Evict your own parents? I didn't answer. My attorney spoke first. This is her legal counsel. You have 11 minutes to accept the lease amendment, or we file for eviction tomorrow morning. Silence. Then my dad again. This is insane. We're her family. My attorney's voice stayed level. We have documented proof of lease violation, non-payment, financial diversion, and a fraudulent homestead filing. If you do not sign the amendment by 5 p.m., we will file in court. You'll be out in 30 days and will pursue damages. I heard my mom in the background. We didn't commit fraud. We were just, my attorney cut in. Your daughter has text messages thanking her for saving your home. She has Venmo records showing rent payments diverted to your other daughter. She has a recorded deed and a notarized lease. This isn't a negotiation. Another silence. Then my sister's voice, distant but sharp. This is insane. My dad cleared his throat. What are the terms? My attorney walked through them. $1,400 a month. Still below the market rate of $1,800. Immediate payment of $2,400 for arrears. My sister vacates in 7 days. No additional occupants. Ever. Breach means automatic eviction. No second chances. I heard paper rustling. My mom's voice barely audible. We don't have a choice, do we? My attorney said nothing. At 4:58, my phone pinged. DocuSign notification. All parties signed. My dad spoke once more. I hope you're happy. I wasn't happy. But I wasn't powerless anymore. I hung up. My attorney looked at me across the table. That, she said, is how it's done. I sat in the conference room for 20 minutes after she left. The sun was setting. The building was quiet. It was over. But the hardest part was still coming. My sister moved out in 6 days. She posted one Instagram story. A new apartment. Princess in a smaller room. No caption, no tags. She didn't mention my parents. The first rent payment arrived on time. A check, no note. Just the amount. Month 2, same thing. Month 3, same thing. Month 4, my dad texted. Can we talk about buying the house back? I said no. I counteroffered a 5-year lease-to-own plan. Appraised value. Market terms. No family discount. He said he'd think about it. I never heard back. The GoFundMe page disappeared. Quietly. No explanation. The people who donated never got updates. A few relatives reached out privately. Awkward messages. We didn't know the whole story. I didn't reply. The people who mattered already knew. 6 months later, I repainted my old room during a routine property inspection. Took down the dog chandelier. Donated it. Put my debate trophies back on the shelf. My parents were in the living room when I finished. We didn't speak. I locked up and left. We don't talk much now. Holidays are texts, not dinners. My sister blocked me on everything. I haven't seen her in over a year. And I'm okay with that. I'm not the villain in their story anymore. I'm just not in their story. And that's enough. I learned something through all of this. Boundaries aren't punishment. Documentation isn't paranoia. And sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is stop letting people rewrite the truth. I still save everything. Not because I'm waiting for the next fight, but because I finally learned my story is worth keeping. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to choose between keeping the peace and keeping your dignity? Drop your story below. I read every one. And if this one hit home, subscribe. Because the algorithm doesn't care about family drama, but I know you do. See you in the next one. This story is a fictionalized dramatization and is not legal or financial advice.